You asked for it, Box 323, Hollywood 28, California. Dear sir, we'd like to see how a volcano starts, see it in action. Thank you. Sincerely yours, Jimmy Newell and Danny Newell, Trenton, New Jersey. Well, Jimmy and Danny, just watch where the wind takes this letter. Yes, we're standing on the very rim of Halemaʻumaʻu, legendary home of Pele, Hawaiian goddess of fire. Many times during the past years, the floor of this crater, located at the very center of Kīlauea Volcano on the slopes of Mauna Loa, has been a pool of liquid fire, spewing forth great showers of lava, then cooling and crusting again until pressures within the earth have caused it to explode once more. In a moment, you're going to see some actual pictures of these eruptions. But first, I'd like to have you relive with me a visit I made earlier today to the headquarters of the scientists who stand vigil over this volcano and who study what happens deep within the Earth's surface. Here near Halemaʻumaʻu, the United States Department of Interior's Geological Survey maintains its Hawaiian Volcano Observatory. Dr. Jerry P. Eaton invited me in to show some of the work of these men who probe beneath the Earth's crust to detect earthquakes and their relation to volcanoes, such as we'll see in action in just a minute. They maintain 9 other stations in the island, 7 on the volcanic island of Hawaii alone. Actual earthquakes are recorded on seismographs. By measuring the time between different types of shock waves, they can determine exactly how far each seismograph is from the center of the earthquake. On the map, each peg and string indicates where a station is located. After intricate measurements, they bring the strings together, and they intersect at the spot where the earthquake originated. Just one way to help them predict volcanic eruptions. Akira Yamamoto showed me how they prepare the seismograph. Glassine paper wrapped on a drum. The drum's turned over a poorly burning kerosene lamp. Soot from the flame deposited evenly on the paper. Stations at several critical points on Kīlauea and Mauna Loa detect tiny earthquake-induced movements in the ground. Their signals transmitted by wire to the observatory. Here the signal is greatly amplified and a needle traces vibrations on the lamp black. The paper is removed from the drum and the surface is shellacked. In this way they have a permanent record of even the tiniest quakes, some much too small to be felt except by the most delicate instruments. This device has another interesting job. When lava wells up from miles below the volcano, it sometimes accumulates in reservoirs near the Earth's surface. The lava deposit presses upward, forming a dome and tilting the ground above. So this is a tilt meter, partly filled with water from a pressure tank in the Jeep. When a dome forms and the ground tilts, the water drops at one side of the pan and rises on the other, so the slightest shift in the earth can be quickly detected. At Sulphur Bank on Kīlauea, I watched geochemist Jack Murata collecting escaping gases for analysis. Quite often the gases are from molten rock many miles down on the earth. This activity provides important data on conditions in the Earth's interior, leading to clearer knowledge of exactly why eruptions occur. Samples of gas from Sulphur Bank are taken back to the laboratory. In what is called a mass spectrometer, the gases are analyzed by Dr. Wayne Alt. The slightest changes noted from one day to the next. All in the life of these volcano vigilantes high on Kīlauea. In Yukahuna Vault, I saw more seismographs. For our brief visit, the lights were turned on inside, but ordinarily the vault is completely dark. Two complete sets of seismographs here, but unlike those at the observatory, these are electronic, recording their findings on photographic paper. 3 seismometers detect tiny movements of the ground, one north-south, one east-west, one vertical. This one detects large distant earthquakes. It records on photographic paper too, so the vault must always be dark while in operation. Every station connected by wire throughout the volcanic system. So while other scientists are reaching into outer space, these men of the Volcano Observatory are probing inward, hoping to unlock the secret within the Earth's molten center and keeping a constant vigil for signs of eruption. For when the goddess Pele is angered, she lets forth like this. 1955 eruption of Kīlauea. New cones and craters burst forth all along the east flank of Hawaii's great volcanic rift. But Halemaʻumaʻu crater did not erupt at this time. In the volcano's core, a heat of 2,000 degrees. Lava spatter builds craters higher and higher. From a gap in the cone wall breaks a 25-foot river of vicious lava flowing swiftly toward the sea. Lava 20,000 times the density of water, and yet it flows at 35 miles an hour. Along gentler slopes and roads, great banks of molten rock, incandescent even in broad daylight. Across cleared cane fields, the flow front presses on, 15 feet deep. Hundreds of miles of hills and lowlands covered with black lava and volcanic ash. And finally over a 50-foot cliff into the boiling sea. The wrath of the goddess of Pele, the eruption of Kīlauea Volcano on the island of Hawaii. You asked for it.